So at a high level, the AI capabilities can be thought of as classifying. Classifying is, putting things in different buckets. And they need not be only two, it can be a number of buckets. One is the second one, as we spoke about, was predicting. Predicting is around being able to predict the probability of something happening, or being able to predict the output or the outcome. The third one is check verify, is being able to compare two things and be that verification layer, translate from one language to another. And this is is very good Gen AI capability that has really improved the translation quality than what was there before. Because earlier it was more of a word-to-word translation, but now it has become much more natural language-like. And we did speak about generate capabilities, and then of course our summarize capability. Summarize is you take huge amounts of data, and AI, especially generative AI, can summarize the key points from it. So again, I'm just trying to give a directional view of what kind of use cases will require a discriminative AI versus a generative AI model. And there are trade-offs, because discriminative AI models tend to be much more accurate than generative AI. They don't have the problem of hallucinations. And overall, they work very well if the data variety is small. Whereas generative AI has got their own sweet spot of being able to generate content, create new content which didn't exist before. So going to use cases, there are many, but I wanted to highlight a few ways in which generative AI is being used. A good example is code generation. For example, the GitHub Copilot, I think, is very, very popular and famous. There are others, for example, being able to generate insights from Tableau using a prompt. And this is actually a code generation capability that is being used, is because from the prompt, the system is able to discern intent. From intent, it's able to discern a SQL code, which is fetching the data from the backend, and then it's displaying it in the UI. So this is actually a code generation. It's not an image generation capability. It's actually a code generation capability that is being leveraged for, let's say, visualization in Tableau. So text generation, Grammarly is a great example. I don't want to go too much in depth. There's also a company called Jasper. This was one of the darlings of the new Gen AI startups, and where the entire marketing content was generated using Gen AI. And this was on brand and using the brand tone of voice. Then the typical chatbots that we see are also actually text generation, because they are trained on the information, the knowledge base, and then they're expected to generate answers to the prompts based on that. So even this is a text generation capability that is being leveraged. So image generation, Midjourney, again, a very, very popular and well-known app for image generation. But these image generation capabilities are being included in Adobe Firefly, the historical suite like Figma as well, to generate designs and generate images. So text to audio, there's something called Murf AI, a very interesting one, which creates a lifelike audio from text for voiceovers, which, while there was a capability, but it was not as smooth as it is using Gen AI. And then Otter.ai is also something that I personally use too, which does automatic translations as people speak. This you can also see in Google Meet, where you can turn on the captions, and as we speak, the captions are generated irrespective of the language. So this is another interesting use case of classification using GenAI. Classification is typically considered a discriminative AI, but the volume of data that and the rapid changes which are required for fraud detection make it a classic um, use case to use GenAI. And the same thing with healthcare, because in healthcare, you're looking at images, you're trying, and there's the quantum of data, the quantum of unstructured data that needs to be analyzed is very, very huge. And this is where GenAI can also make a difference, even for use cases like classification use cases.